The gear in front of us. This gear has broken due to overloading. Under normal circumstances, it would certainly be scrapped. However, in Pakistan, replacing it not only costs 20,000 rupees but also requires a 2-week waiting period for repairs. To get the mixer up and running as quickly as possible, the owner has no choice but to walk 3 kilometers to the repair shop. If the repair can be done within half an hour, an additional 2,000 rupees is charged. After professional measurements by a level 6 welder, the technician says another 1,000 rupees will be added, as such repairs require specific skills. Finally, after agreeing on a price of 6,000 rupees, the technician begins the half-hour emergency repair. The urgency of the repair also determines the price. Not only must the strength be ensured, but the time factor is also crucial. Now, the technician uses an angle grinder to polish the rough edges. For the technician, this repair is like child's play, easy and quick. Once the ends of the fracture are smoothed out, the gear needs to be reassembled and compared. However, because of the grinding, the gear's measurements may change, so the technician uses the mixing tool to ensure its alignment. The gear is temporarily fixed with spot welding, even though the grinding has already left space for welding. This welding area will not increase strength significantly. To ensure the fracture's center can also bear force, the technician marks straight lines at both ends of the fracture. Rivets are then used to fix the inner sides. The technician then uses a drill press to create holes along the marked lines. The main goal is to horizontally connect both sides, so the inner part of the gear can be securely attached. Even if the inner layer cannot be welded, strength can still be ensured. After the technician's skilled work, the rivets, matching the drill bit's size, are hammered into the hole securely. To ensure the proper fit, when joining the other end, it's essential to ensure there are no gaps in alignment. After confirming that the two ends are level without any discrepancies, and the outer diameter is correct, the gear can truly be considered whole. Once the rivets are fully tightened and secured, high-quality welding rods with high hardness are used to fill in the pre-prepared bevel weld. However, because the height of the welded scar differs significantly, the raised areas must be repeatedly polished. The technician uses the factory's original smoothness around the weld as a reference point and works to remove all traces of the weld as much as possible. Simply using an angle grinder will not produce the best results. To restore the gear's original shine, its surface must be processed on a lathe to remove the layer of paint and rust. While this will cause the gear's thickness to change slightly, as long as the main diameter remains unchanged, it will not affect the gear's normal transmission. Next, the surface is polished again with an angle grinder. At this point, the weld marks are completely covered. However, since the inner side has a ring of driving teeth, the grooves are sealed by the weld. A more detailed touch-up with a lathe is necessary to prevent any jumping or slipping of the gear. Thus, the broken mixing machine gear has been successfully joined using rivets. This method of joining is incredibly effective.